TCP or Transmission Control Protocol. An internet differs from a local network or a single network because different parts of the internet may have different topologies, bandwidths, delays, packet sizes and other parameters. So TCP was designed so that it can dynamically adapt to the properties of the internet network and to be robust in the case of failures of the internet network. The main property of TCP is that this is connection oriented protocol, whereas UDP is connectionless. So connection oriented protocol provides a reliable service. So for most internet application where reliability and sequenced delivery is important, we can opt for TCP. TCP was designed to provide a reliable end-to-end byte stream over an unreliable network. Network layer is normally considered as unreliable. So to provide a reliability to the network in common, the TCP was designed to provide a reliable service, and as usual, as we learned earlier, transport layer is providing end-to-end. End-to-end means there is a point on the source port and there is a point on the destination side. End-to-end till it reaches destination, a connection is established. And the message, it is a byte stream. The stream is sent as a bytes. Okay, so these things are very important. TCP was designed to provide a reliable end-to-end byte stream over an unreliable internet network. Now coming to TCP socket. What is a socket? Socket is actually the connection endpoint. So both the sender and the receiver is having a connection endpoint, and that is called a socket. The socket is identified by the socket number, which consists of IP address and a 16-bit number that is very local to the host. That 16-bit number is called a port. The port number is normally called a transport service access point. And a socket can be used for multiple connections, but different connections are identified by the socket identifiers. Socket identifiers at both ends. Then this number, port number below 1024 are known as well-known ports, and they are reserved for standard services like file transfer protocol, it is 2021. SMTP, email protocol, it is 25. Then HTTP, for World Wide Web, we are using the port number 18. POP3, that is also a email protocol. Post office protocol, for POP3 it is 110. Okay, and for IPP it is 631. These are well-known port numbers. They are reserved for popular services. Now coming to TCP features. First is TCP connections are full duplex and point-to-point. Full duplex, no, two-way communication is possible. Point-to-point means an end-to-end connection is possible. TCP does not support multicasting or broadcasting. This is not for broadcasting or multicasting services. TCP connection is byte stream, not a message stream. Message boundaries are not preserved end-to-end. When an application passes data to TCP, TCP may send it immediately or buffer it. Here we discussed a point. This provides a reliable sequenced delivery. In TCP header, there is a field called a sequence number. So when a number of TCP segments are transmitted to the receiver side, to order the TCP sequence, we use TCP sequence number. Sequencing, TCP segment sequencing is important. It is achieved using sequence number. So now we are going to discuss about TCP segment header format. Here we have source port, destination port, then sequence number, acknowledgement number, then we have header length, a set of flags, window size, checksum, urgent pointer. Then we have some optional field followed by data. There can be data or the TCP segment can be sent without even data. Now we will see each field in detail. This together comes about 20 bytes. Here is 4, the first row 4, second, third, fourth and fifth. So together 20 bytes is the minimum size of TCP header. So source and destination port. These fields identify the endpoint of the connection. The source and destination socket numbers together identify the connection. Then sequence number and the acknowledgement number. TCP guarantees an ordered sequence delivery. For that purpose only we are using sequence number. So this field is used to give a sequence number each and every byte transferred. The acknowledgement signifies the next byte expected from the source and not the last byte received. So the sequence number will be always in the order. So acknowledgement means the next byte we are expecting. Header length tells how many 32-bit words are contained in the TCP header, because the option field is of variable length, so that the length of the header is to be included. So how many 32-bit words are contained in TCP header. Then window size tells how many bytes may be sent starting at the byte acknowledged. Receiver maintained a window, that is a buffer for storing the TCP segments received. So this field tells how many bytes may be sent starting at the byte acknowledged. Next is checksum. For reliability, it checksums the header, the data and the conceptual pseudo header. Next comes urgent pointer, which indicates a byte offset from the current sequence number in which urgent data are to be found. So if there is high priority data, then indicates a byte offset from the current sequence number at which urgent data are to be found. Next is options. They provide a way to add extra facilities not covered by the regular header. Example, maximum TCP payload that sender is willing to handle. It's an optional field. So that's all about TCP segment header. We have a set of flag bits that also we will discuss. Urgent pointer, it indicates byte offset from the current sequence number which urgent data are to be found. If urgent data is found, the urgent flag will be set. Acknowledgement field is set to indicate that acknowledgement number field in the packet is valid. Then PSH or push to data. The receiver is requested to deliver the data to the application upon arrival and not buffer it until a full buffer has been received. Push data, the receiver will deliver the data to the application upon arrival and it won't be buffered. Then RST or reset. This is used to reset a connection that has become confused or that has crashed due to some reason. This causes an abrupt end to the connection if it existed. Then SYN and FIN. This is used to, SYN is used to establish a connection. The connection request has SYN equal to 1 and acknowledgement equals 0. The connection reply has SYN equal to 1 and ACK equal to 1. Then FIN. This is to release connection. So SYN is used to establish a connection. FIN is used to release a connection. It specifies that the sender has no more fresh data to transmit. It will retransmit any lost or delayed packet. Also, it will continue to receive data from the other side. Since SYN and FIN packet have to be acknowledged, they must have a sequence number even if they do not contain any data. So that's all about TCP segment format. Thank you for